So what's up, people, and welcome to another Alita Battle Angel / GUNNM video. Well, kind of. This is, again, one of my lazy person videos in that I want to talk about other people's videos in this video. Yeah, I was thinking about bringing out another themed video, but somewhere along the way, due to some things I needed to do for real life, which often gets in the way, as well as getting into a situation where I had some ideas and themes that I do want to make a video for, but I just couldn't come up with a good way to present them yet. So I decided for this weekend I will not bring out a video. I apologize for that because I haven't brought out a Alita Battle Angel themed video for a while. But in any case, I figured that if I wasn't going to bring out a video, I will go back to my lazy butt video and introduce some of the other videos that I found quite interesting. And some of these are quite new, and some of these are a little bit older, and some of these are from quite a while back. But I do find all of these to be quite interesting, and so I thought I would introduce them, and I hope that you find them interesting as well if you haven't seen them already. So the first video is by MacPB, and it's the third in the series of his videos that respond back to many of the criticisms that have been focused towards the movie Alita Battle Angel. And he gives some really nice responses to many of these, and his third video was quite interesting. Although it focuses on many topics, the title of the video is with response to the common criticism of Alita's body being too womanized or feminized or sexualized, and his response to that. And in this one, he becomes quite passionate, and I could understand why, because of the fact that I think he's gotten quite fed up with a lot of this controversial comments that keep on coming out with regards to many things against this movie, which I often become frustrated as well. So in any case, if you enjoyed the Alita Battle Angel movie, and if you are also frustrated with many of these criticisms, then you may want to take a look at his video, because he does give a good response that is well laid out and very well set up for debate. And so if you especially got frustrated with that Alita's body is very feminine and why does it need to be that way, then I thought that it was a very good video. Now, what's a really nice treat is, aside from his great explanations that he does, he gives a segment of an interview with Rosa Salazar. Not his interview, of course, but somebody's interview with Rosa Salazar, where she talks about the transition between the doll body and the berserker body, and how it's supposed to symbolize Alita maturing from her kind of adolescent sort of personality that comes out in the beginning because she has no memory, to someone who's a lot more grown up as she experiences many things. And there was one part in there which I really liked about what Rosa Salazar said, which was this whole thing. You know, she was talking about how a lot of times if you see movies that are often directed by men, they try to steer and avoid a lot of this representation of the female figure because of the fact that a lot of times it gets criticized so much by the PC police. But she liked this particular situation because of the fact that it was very well balanced. And the thing I really liked about it is she said it wasn't over sexualized, but she also mentioned that it wasn't overly infantilized, which I thought was a very good point. Just because you take something away because you think something is over sexualized doesn't mean that you're getting to a balance. There may be a situation where you're just taking it to a infantile sort of representation, something that's too young for that person to be. And there's nothing wrong with somebody growing up and changing in their physical appearance. So why are people forcing characters who are supposed to be adults to have bodies that look like they're children? Is that some sort of preference by certain people? I don't know if I should state this in some way. Is it some sort of lolicon sort of version? I'm not exactly sure. But there is nothing really balanced about forcing a female character who is supposed to be adult to look like they were 8 years old. What is the purpose of that? And so I thought that her comment with regards to the fact that it's not only not over-sexualized, but it's also not over-infantilized was a very good comment with regards to a lot of the criticisms that came out. And so in any case, as a treat, if you want to see Rosa Salazar's interview with regards to that, then I will go take a look at MacPB's video. As always, I will leave a link to all of these videos I talk about in the description section of this video. Okay, so the next video I would like to talk about steers away from dialogue and goes into music, and it's by a channel called Alita's Army. And I've always enjoyed this channel because it has some really good remix of music, a variety of music, to scenes from the movie. And so if you want to go check it out with regards to what sort of music is in there, then I will leave a link to one of the videos. Now, why I like this particular video is because I am an old timer and I am very much a fan of Yes and their songs. And one of my favorite was Owner of the Lonely Heart. And it is a treat to see one of my favorite songs be associated with this particular movie. And so, yeah, thank you very much, Alita's Army. And yeah, if you're interested in seeing what sort of music is there, go take a look. And if you've never heard Owner of a Lonely Heart, yeah, definitely go listen to it, because I think it really is a good representation of a really good song that came from that era. And Yes was a very good band. Yeah, so thank you very much, Alita's Army. Okay, so moving on. As you may know, recently CinemaSin came out with a video with regards to Alita Battle Angel. You know, it revolved around their standard theme of criticizing specific movies. And it was titled, I think, Everything Wrong with Alita Battle Angel in 15 Minutes. Their usual title. And I'm not introducing that one because of the fact that CinemaSins is such a well-known channel. There's no need for me to introduce their particular videos. Everybody knows about them. However, what I did want to talk about is there was a YouTuber who brought out some counterpoints as a debate to what CinemaSins said on a point-by-point basis. And although that video was in parody, I have to admit, I did find the counterpoints to be very well set up. And I did agree with a lot of those counterpoints. Now, the YouTuber's name is Birdman, or the Birdman. And yeah, he brings out some very interesting videos. They're oftentimes very focused. And although I don't agree with, some of the things that he often says, I do have to admit he does set his arguments up very well. And I've always liked channels where, the YouTuber brings out points that are very well backed up. And so if you want to take a look at what his counterpoints were to the criticisms that CinemaSin gave out, then I once again will leave a link to that video and go take a look at it. And yeah, and go take a look at Birdman. Although this probably is one of the few Alita Battle Angel videos he makes. He makes a lot of good general videos. And so yeah, go take a look at him if you've never heard of him. Okay, and finally, If you recall in my last video, I gave a link to a YouTuber, Anime Snob, who went over a review not of the movie but of the comic Battle Angel Alita. And so this time I would like to give another link to a different reviewer of the comic. This gentleman is named Micah Curtis, and in a different manner, he gives the reasons why he likes GUNNM or Battle Angel Alita the comic. Now this is a relatively old video. It's a video that came out before the movie came out, similar to Anime Snob's video. And so you will see a lot of criticism with regards to how he is noticing how the movie's trailers are coming out and his concerns about the movie before the movie came out. Now, I don't know if he gave a movie review. I haven't checked with regards to that. But I do find his comic review to be interesting because it gives a different perspective than what Anime Snob did. This is a gentleman who seems to like some very dark and edgy stories, and he is definitely not an anime fan. I don't think he would ever live to be called a weebo. I think he'll kill whoever calls him that. But in any case, he does find certain manga to be very interesting. And if you look at the list of manga that he sees, you could see that he likes very dark, edgy stories because of the fact that the three manga he especially likes are Berserk, Devilman, and Battle Angel Alita. And I think it's because of the fact that these three comics give such a different perspective to what manga is to what is often thought to be what manga is to the general public, especially the Western audience, where they think, oh, manga is for kids or anime is for kids and it must be another Pokemon type of thing. No, I mean, these things you do not want to show children. And so the fact that he likes Battle Angel Alita so much when he hates typically animes and the majority of mangas makes it a very interesting video to watch. Whether you agree with him or not, it's nice to see yet another perspective on the take of this story. And this is a very interesting thing with regards to what I feel about the GUNNM storyline. Whether you take it from the Battle Angel Alita manga or the Alita Battle Angel movie, the thing I find interesting about the story is that it is multifaceted, in that there are romantic points with regards to the story, whether you're talking about Alita and Hugo, which is a literal romance, but I'm also talking about the adventures that this character has with regards to her journeys and her dreams and her desires, and that self-realization, that sort of romance, which has nothing to do with a relationship between a boy and a girl, right? And so that is fully in this comic, and yet this comic also has one of the darkest, edgiest stories out there. And if you compare it to a lot of the other dark, edgy stories, such as he brings up an example of Hellsing, there are stories out there that are extremely dark and extremely edgy, but they're kind of made that way for the sense of being that way. And it follows the typical themes of if you're dark and edgy, it has to be this way, and there really is no, romantic feeling a lot of times in many of these stories because they have to be dark and edgy. But Alita Battle Angel falls outside of that because of the fact that it does have these other multifacets. And what I find that's interesting and why I brought up Micah Curtis's video, aside from Anime Snob's videos, if you remember Anime Snobs, he went into a philosophical sort of argument with regards to how this comic is very interesting in terms of philosophy, psychology, and character. You know, and then other people like the story because of its romantic adventure that this character goes in. And then other people like Micah Curtis like it for its really dark, edgy points. And typically why this isn't done, why it's isolated to one facet or another, is usually because a lot of story writers have a hard time blending it in without one side conflicting against the other. How do you have a romantic side and an edgy side without the romantic side softening too much of the edgy side, or vice versa? And yet, this story, for some reason, does it well, in that it can retain the edginess so that people who like dark stories can follow this and enjoy this, and then people who like romantic character growth stories can also follow this and enjoy this, and people who like philosophical discussions with regards to various aspects can also enjoy this. And so that unique nature I always found to be quite interesting, and that's why I wanted to bring up Micah Curtis's video, because he brings out his enjoyment of this particular manga for a very different reason than what Anime Snob does, and it may be a very different reason than what you may have. In any case, that's about it for this video. I apologize to every viewer that I'm slacking off this week, and I also apologize to the people I made the links to, because I'm making this video riding on the coattails of your videos. So yeah, I apologize for that, MacPB, Alita's Army, the Birdman, and Micah Curtis. Yeah, but I hope whoever is interested in these sorts of videos goes and checks them out. Anyway, that's about it. I'll be going over other Alita Battle Angel / GUNNM videos in the future. Oh, by the way, completely separate topic. Spy Family Chapter 13 has come out, so I'll be going and covering that in a near-term video. So if you're following that particular comic, I hope to bring that out soon. Anyway, that's about it. Have a good day, and as always, Jaya, nice day, everyone.